this is Lee, back once again to share a few of my opinions on various topics. And see, still behind me? Yes, well, pay him no mind. Once again, I wanted to share a few things about Shimmer Volume 41, of which I was talking about in my rather lengthy review. Anyway, I had a few more things to share, namely a very important match that I really neglected, and that is the match between Hiroyo Matsumoto and Nicole Matthews. Now, I will say a little bit about both of these performers. Some of my reviews will be longer simply because I can't help but get into the history of these very interesting and colorful characters. I also wanted to say more about the live show, so the following will be my comments about the staff. You can see Volume 41 here, the digital versatile disc. Following is Volume 42. Now, this would have been filmed on a Saturday. I should say recorded, because they no longer use film widely. But you see, the two of these would be back to back. Before you even got to this volume, there is a pre-show. This consists usually of a few matches called dark matches, meaning simply that they are not recorded. Now, live recording is not allowed at the Shimmer shows except by the event staff, and so these matches are only experienced by those in attendance. Usually there will be some male wrestlers who will have a short, sometimes comedic tag team match. After that there will be what is called Sparkle, and Sparkle is basically a public tryout for certain wrestlers who maybe are considering becoming part of Shimmer or simply wanted to wrestle that night. Many of these wrestlers who wrestle in the Sparkle matches, which are very short, more like your television women's wrestling matches, 3 or 4 minutes perhaps. Many of these wrestlers later appear on the main roster. However, some have not. Different wrestlers such as Buggy Nova, Angelus Lane, December or Miss December, many of these wrestlers have appeared in the Sparkle matches. Sometimes the characters they're still trying out their gimmicks. They may change their name before they appear in the main roster. I believe Miss Natural did this. But anyway, the first volume recorded on a Saturday is always preceded by these dark and Sparkle matches. I believe in a more recent volume, Sparkle was cancelled, and instead the Sparkle matches were promoted to the first part of the Shimmer show. This occurred volume 68, I believe, and I actually missed these matches, and I was quite upset because I didn't want to miss anything. But thankfully, because they're part of the show, I will get to see them when they finally come to digital versatile disc later this month. So, volume 41, 42. Now on Sunday, the following day, the next 2 volumes are recorded live, and once again they will be volume 43 and 44. Now, the 4 of these together form the largest Shimmer weekend of all time. The most wrestlers, the most matches, most total time, just overall an incredible show. And some may criticize and say there were too many matches, but the beauty of digital versatile disc is you don't have to watch it all in one sitting. You can take a break, you can skip around, you can watch what you want. On some volumes, the matches are not strictly in the order they occurred. Sometimes they're shifted around because of wrestling schedules. Sometimes wrestlers have to leave early, they can only appear 1 day, and so the matches will be rearranged for story purposes. And the video packages are usually seen live at the show, but sometimes more are added later. Replays and things like that appear only on the digital versatile disc. But there are many moments you'll experience in a live show that you won't see on the DVD. And of course, you won't get the same commentary, since the commentary is not done live, except in the very most recent shows, in the volumes in the 70s. Anyway, the match that I neglected before, Hiroyo Matsumoto versus Nicole Matthews. Now, Nicole Matthews is a character who, she's a medium-sized, not incredibly beautiful, annoying, shrill, irritating character. And I say all of these things with the utmost respect, because this is a character she has cultivated in the ring. She did not start with all of the Shimmer women wrestlers, but she sent videos, she tried to get in for many years, and finally began in some of the early years of Shimmer. Now, she and Portia Perez soon became a tag team known as the Canadian Ninjas. And of course, Portia Perez is the evil genius, the leader, if you will, of the two. She takes kind of a bad girl approach, very childish, bratty character. She's often mocked for her youthful appearance. Nicole Matthews, taller, a bit maybe more of a technical wrestler, but very whiny, very annoying. Anyway, Nicole Matthews is one to watch out for, because she is now the current Shimmer champion for the moment. So we will see if she will hang on to her title in future volumes. But certainly she has great abilities, and these abilities are often hidden by the cheating and the backstabbing and the just shenanigans, as they say, that go on. Now, Hiroyo Matsumoto is just a wonderful wrestler. I was first introduced to her by a Shimmer super fan. I hope he doesn't mind if I mention him using his pseudonym, Super Cousin. Super Cousin, the Super Cousin, I suppose. Anyway, this gentleman, wonderful man. He and several others have really generated enthusiasm within a grassroots fan movement of Shimmer fans to support the Joshi wrestlers. They create their own posters, custom t-shirts, little gimmicks, things like that. They throw colorful streamers before the matches, even to the detail of matching the colors on the wrestling gear. Anyway, this man, huge fan of Hiroyo Matsumoto. He has his own fan club for her, and I thought, who is Hiroyo Matsumoto? I've heard of Dump Matsumoto, the great large villainess from the 80s, who gave the Crush Gals so much trouble in Japan, but apparently no relation. Hiroyo Matsumoto, she has a baby face, I suppose, but she is acting like a very crazed person in the ring. She is very powerful. She tag-teamed with Misaki Ohata, who also plays a kind of a child-like character, who is nevertheless incredibly powerful, as most of the Joshi wrestlers present themselves as the cream of the crop. I often talk about the different wrestling promotions. Certainly the WWE is the top of the heap when it comes to the world, but worldwide, the Japanese are huge into professional wrestling. So is the Mexicans down south of the border. Canadians, huge wrestling. The UK also very underrated in the world, but very they love their professional wrestling. And so sometimes different promotions of crossover, people hear about them. All Japan, or New Japan, I should say. All Japan is defunct, but New Japan Pro Wrestling, Triple A, let's see, Dragon Gate, Lucha Underground, of course, comes through the Mexican Triple A, Lucha Libre. Many of these promotions are quite large but unknown to the Western audience. So when I say WWE TNA ROH, that is very North American centric focus, to be sure. But most fans don't know about anything else, to be honest. So I'm helping spread the word, if you will, about other promotions. What Shimmer does close to home is allows fans to see some of these stars up close and personal without the plane tickets. Although, oddly enough, many of these fans do travel far and wide to see their favorite stars. So back to Hiroyo Matsumoto. In this match, I don't get into great detail because I believe the matches speak for themselves, and unlike some other wrestling, to see it you have to buy the match with video on demand or the DVD itself. But I can't express to you how good these matches are. Many prefer the purity of the Japanese wrestling matches, but this is a good compromise, and the stars that come over are generally allowed to do what they do to the best of their ability. And their opponents, the matchups are very good. Now, Nicole Matthews, predictably, is given a very hard time by Hiroyo Matsumoto, who seems to just delight in destroying her. And Hiroyo does not take her seriously at all, but just seems to be enjoying herself. In this way, she reminds me much of Mercedes Martinez. She comes out of the ring almost without a care in the world. She thinks, this is my playground, and I'm going to defeat this person and drink in the adulation of the fans and go forth about my day. No problem. And Nicole Matthews, who has backstabbed so many people so far, gets her comeuppance, as they say. But you will notice in a later volume that Hiroyo Matsumoto comes face to face with a different challenger. Let's see. Hiroyo Matsumoto, yes, her title match. This is a sneak peek, if you will, for the next volume. Hiroyo Matsumoto comes face to face with the Shimmer champion, Madison Eagles. Now, Madison Eagles was, just kind of a casual wrestler. She cheated a lot, and so forth. But when she became a champion, as I said before, she became 10 times bigger than she was before. She grew in stature almost, and the fans were forced to take her seriously as a powerhouse, a real threat, not just someone who kind of, was joking around, but she was serious. Now, when Hiroyo gets in the room with her, she comes out. She isn't singing and dancing so casually as before with her match with Nicole Matthews. She's serious, almost even a little scared. And that is effective acting. That made me believe that Madison Eagles was a true force to be reckoned with, if even the Joshi take her seriously. And actually, you'll see Madison Eagles does wrestle in Japan, and behind the scenes, I'm sure, has earned the respect of those wrestlers across the sea. Because I'm sure that there are many fans who would look at North American wrestling and think, oh, it's kind of a joke. It's its own style, but there is mutual respect. It happens even when you have a heel character going up against a baby face, a hero and a villain. So this is actually quite a good match, and it sets up a future good match on the next volume. So overall, I would say this is a great digital versatile disc. I'd highly recommend it. It can be obtained the usual way, online. And whether you get it from the official website, which means you'll be supporting Shimmer, or if you get it used, I think it'll be a worthy addition to anyone's collection, especially if they like women's wrestling, if they like whether it's Canadian or Japanese or American. Now, the next volume I'm very excited about talking about, so I will jump into this hopefully soon, and once again, I thank you for your time.